Hi everybody, Bearded Rogue here, and this is the final box, box 22, the last box in the Tony Unpacks in Oregon series. I'm excited about this one. There's actually a lot fewer games in here that I was planning on getting rid of than I thought. So we have some good stuff to talk about and a much better episode, and hopefully less ranty than the last one. So let's go over what's inside. So the first game that's in here is a game that may end up going to a new home, and that's Battlestar Galactica. This is a game that I really wanted to love. I love the show. The mechanisms sound fantastic. All of it seems so thematic and wonderful and awesome. And the first time I played it, somebody basically quit the table in a rage and wanted absolutely nothing to do with it after that. I played it a second time and played it with newer players, and it became pretty obvious pretty quickly who the Cylons were, and we basically dealt with them completely, and the humans just kind of marched on to victory like it was no big thing. So it didn't... my two plays of it have not been the best plays of it. It's not lived up to its potential. Obviously, this is just the base game. I have no expansions. Why spend money on the expansions if the base game never even really hits? There are a lot of people I know and respect and love to play games with who do really love this game and have gotten, like, myriad plays out of this game and its expansions, and they own everything and they really love it. And, you know, I brought this with me because I still have not given up hope that I will be able to play this game with other people who like it. You know, maybe it's not one that I need in my collection, and I'll find the people who really like it have it and all of the other bits that go along with it, and I can play their copy, and I don't need my copy, but I have it, I bought it, and so it came with me to Oregon. This one might be one that I'm willing to part with simply because I don't know when or if I'll get to play it, but yeah, it's a really good game. Just my experiences with it haven't been the best. Next is, let's go with this one. So, Gunship First Strike. This is another game that I backed very early in my Kickstarter career. I backed to the point where I have like a signed, numbered edition of the game, and I have like extra Mark II gunships and everything. It's a pretty, like, the components for this game are really neat, honestly. And that's really what drew me in. Like, the graphic design is really cool. You actually have a little gunship here, and the cards, the component pieces actually fit on the gunship to show you where the guns are and where you've taken damage and stuff like that. And there are cards that that show you how much damage you have based on how many times you're wrecked, and then you have your carriers and you have your little fighter ships and everything, and it's supposed to be this gigantic dogfight in space, and it's really, really random. Like, the rules in this game, we ended up with two gunships that were constantly destroying each other, and one carrier blew the other one up with fire simply over time because one player rolled better than the other player defended. It's really random. Like, I really want this game to be good because the components are really neat, the graphic design is really neat. I would love to design an actual game or a better game using these components, but I have not gotten around to it. You know, there are some people who may not be turned off by the amount of randomness in it, but, like, it really is all down to the die and what you roll, and it's a shame, because it could be better. I know that they were successful with this one, and then they had a second Kickstarter which introduced a racing set of rules to the game where you were racing the gunships around. And it also funded, and it released, and then quickly went on deep discount. I don't know what happened to the company. I don't know what happened to the gentleman who designed it or did the artwork or printed it. It was a labor of love for him. I don't regret supporting it because it was really fun at the time to be as involved as we were. Like, we were asked about everything. Like, people who backed it got to be members of the crew expansion and everything inside of it. It was just a really cool idea that in the long run ended up not working for me mechanically. Too much of a luck fest for me, and it's a shame because the components are really good. But yeah, that's one that I highly doubt that I'm going to be able to get rid of at any point in time. It's not rated very highly on Board Game Geek. There's not very many people who are out there looking for the lower rated games on Board Game Geek. I doubt anybody's looking to kind of try to complete their collection with it, so it's unlikely I'll be able to get rid of it at any point, but it is a game that I have, and a game that I don't regret backing on Kickstarter, though it was an early, I guess you could call it a mistake as far as my personal tastes go. Let's see, what else is in here? So, got a lot of stuff I'll talk about at the end, but they were just mostly used as packing material. I have another really fancy chess set, this time made out of I believe, turquoise and marble, or something along those lines. It's a blue stone and a white stone, I'm not sure exactly what, but it's really, really pretty, and it belonged to my wife's father, my father-in-law, and that he gave it to us. So it's our second pretty chess set that we have. Next, have Awesome Kingdom, Tower of Hate Skull. This is another Kevin Wilson game. The components in this one are honestly kind of shoddy. It makes me sad. They're smaller than I expected them to be. It could be played without several of the components, and probably should, based on what's inside of it. It's very luck-based in this incarnation, pretty deterministic as far as once the cards are dealt to the table, it kind of determines what the best move is, and you either take the best move or you lose, kind of thing. But I'm given to understand that the other games in this series, the other Awesome Kingdom games, don't fall prey to the same thing, and that this stuff is compatible with those games. I don't know if I'll, continue on in the series. It's cool to have another game from Kevin Wilson, and the theming of this game is fantastic. Like, it's just over-the-top, ridiculous characters and classes, and everything about it is just... It's just over the top. I don't even know how else to describe it. Like, it's the Tower of Hate Skull, first of all. That should give you some clue. It's not quite as over the top as, Duel of the Battle Wizards at Mount Skullfire or whatever. But it's approaching there. Like, the classes are like the Rockaneer, which is like an engineer with a guitar. The Cleargin, who's like a surgeon cleric. Let's see, there's the Tower of Hate Skull card. The Con of Cons was a promo that I got. The Prestidigimancer. The Long Trudger. And Paladude, and various things like that. So it's a very tongue-in-cheek game. Like, it's not trying to be a super serious take on dungeon crawling. It's not trying to be a super heavy game. And that's fine. It's fine for what it is. It's not quite up to IDW standards otherwise. But it's not a terrible game. And I'm given to understand that the other games in the series are improvements on similar idea. Next is one of my Grail games. This is a game that I first heard about when I got into the hobby and could never get a hold of, and finally found a copy. that I was able to acquire, and that's Blue Moon City. Blue Moon City is a really good game. It's 2 to 4 players. It's a very unique area control-esque type game set in the same universe as Blue Moon Legends. But you're trying to basically complete building the city, the different pieces of the city, and you get victory points based on how much you contributed to that. It's a really unique game. It's another Reiner Knizia game set in the Blue Moon universe, and it's a game that everybody highly recommended, specifically with 2 players. Like, back when my primary gaming partner was my wife, they were like, you need to get Blue Moon City. Blue Moon City is great for couples. It's a fantastic 2-player game. You guys will really love it. And I was never able to get it. And it went completely out of print and was impossible to find. So the second I saw one that was available, I snapped it up, and I do not regret it. This is a fantastic game, and I'm so happy to have this one in my collection. And then the final game of the final box is Hegemonic from Minion Games. I actually won this at Unpub. I have yet to play this. I have yet to really read the rules for it or open it. It is a much more pure economic Euro type 4X game. It's more of an area control space expansion economic type game than a traditional 4X game. There's no dice combat in it. It's very deterministic. You build your military bases and your various other buildings across the galaxy, and they interact in interesting ways and determine how you score points. And yeah, I was really excited about this game when it was kickstarted. I was really excited about the metal coins that were originally with it. I obviously didn't get the metal coins with my edition, but I'm really excited to finally have this game and give it a try. It may kill Eclipse for me, I don't know. This one plays 45 minutes per player, so I don't know, Eclipse is probably faster to play. But if this one has a depth of strategy that is really rewarding, then it might still end up being my go-to space game. We'll see. I don't know, but I'm really glad to have it. I was really excited to win it. It's the first door prize contest thing I've ever won anywhere, was this year at Unpub, and so it was cool to be able to actually get a game that was on my wish list. So that's Hegemonic. And that's it. That's all of the games. The only other thing in here is all of the character folders from BattleCon that I don't use because I use the little plastic cases. I never really found a good way to use these. I thought about cutting them up so that I could have the images and the character information for the kit and stuff like that to slide into my plastic cases, but I never did. I just held on to them because I never figured out what to do with them. So, that's all it is. They're all in here, and maybe one day I'll do something with them. I'm given to understand that their next set, the Wanderers, is going to have individual tuck boxes for each character, and they're going to put up like tuck boxes on their website that you'll be able to create to hold all of the older fighters and stuff like that, and that'll be really neat if that's a storage solution that ends up working. I know they've toyed with a all-in-one storage solution, much like the Sentinels of the Multiverse guys are looking at now, that they promised to deliver with their Oblivion expansion. But any game that is this heavy, that has that many cards and that many pieces, presents unique structural difficulties when it comes to building an all-in-one storage solution. So we'll see if we ever get one, but that's it, guys. That's everything that I brought with me to Oregon. That's all 22 boxes. All of my games. Now my plan is to get them all on shelves and arranged now that they're all unpacked, and get them all entered into Board Game Geek, make sure that my list is current so that I don't have any that are hiding out. Maybe find some new homes for some of the ones I've talked about in these last two videos. And see if I can make some room on the shelves for future editions. But yeah, that's everything I brought with me. So thank you if you followed along on this journey from episode 1, which now seems so very long ago. I hope you enjoyed these as much as I enjoyed filming them. And anyway, expect more video content in the future. Just maybe not this series again for a while. That's it for now. Bearded Rogue, signing off.